This meeting will be recorded for archive purposes. For any speech that requires no recording, please mention before presenting the speech. And now we will go on to the presiding officer's opening address, me. Hello, everyone. Welcome to UMTMC's 417th meeting. And the theme for this meeting is It Takes Two to Tango. This is a bit overdue, the Valentine's Day theme, but it makes everything require we all require two people. I mean, in a relationship, most of the time it's between two people, and Toastmasters is also between two people. After there are two people interacting. Well, not two people exactly, but two groups: the speaker and the audience, the evaluator and the speaker, the speaker and well the audience, as I said. And it also, since this meeting is also a Valentine's Day team meeting, it also makes sense that the word of the day is reciprocate, which is which means to give and to give feelings to someone, return something to someone else. And in a relationship, you would have to reciprocate your partner's feelings. And I would like to just give a mention to those who are attending this meeting. First, I would like to acknowledge our district officer for W for area W1 for District 51, Zhi Jun. We also like to acknowledge our general evaluator for our meeting today, Hai Kohai from Sami Toastmasters Club, and she is our general evaluator. I also like to acknowledge our external role players, our grammarian, Mama Arif from Utah Sungai Long Toastmasters Club, as well as Sandeep Rao, our timer from Batu Kawan Toastmasters Club, as well as all fellow members and guests. Next slide. And yeah, now with that, I would like to hand over the stage to our Toastmaster of the evening, Angel.
Hi everyone, so welcome to our 417th meeting. Am I audible actually? Hello?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
We can hear
nice.
you.
Alright, so wait, why is it lagging? So our theme for today, as introduced by Aimaan, is It Takes Two to Tango. So actually tango is like a dance, the tango dance. And in order for you to dance this, you need like two partner, and this is why it takes two to tango. All right, so before we start, I've actually did a Kahoot quiz for you guys as an icebreaker game. So let me find it. Give me a moment, guys. Eh. Let me open my Kahoot. So it will just be some question about the theme today and to check if you guys actually read our agenda. And yeah. Where is my okay. Let me share my screen again. All right. So you guys can key in the game pin or scan the QR code. Yeah, there's a QR code here. All right. So there's two participants joining, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can either like type the Kahoot link and enter the pin or just scan the QR. Okay, I'll start at 8:11. So please join. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so the first question is quite simple. Who is the founder of Toastmaster International? It's quite simple, right? Okay. Who answered Charles Toastman? All right, the next question. Okay, Mia is leading. Next. Number two. When was Toastmaster officially founded? Is it 1920, 1922, 1924, or 1926? Okay, so most of you answered correctly, 1924. Oh, so Mia went down to fifth place. All right, so leading is Zhi Jun. Next, question three. What are pathways in Toastmasters? A magical path to avoid ever giving a table topic speech, a list of random speeches to be done in order, a series of projects that build your communication and leadership skill, or is it a shortcut to become a TikTok influencer? All right. Good job, guys. Not much changes in the leadership board. What is an icebreaker speech? A speech for holding an ice cube, a dramatic breakup story, a survivor speech in Antarctica, or your first introductory speech? Oh, okay. Who answered a speech for holding an ice cube? Next. Okay, question five. What is table topics? Is it about talking about your favorite food? Wow, this is fast. Next. Oh, Mia went back up to second place. And we have Jijin and Beep. Why do we have a timer in Toastmasters? To make sure your speech don't turn into a Netflix series, obviously. Some of us like to yap. To test if your watch is working. To give the audience a chance to scroll TikTok. Yes, the correct answer is to help speakers to stay within their allocated time. Oh, oopsie, spelling error here. All right, question seven. How many project speech do we have for today's meeting? Is it six, seven? Is it two, three, four? Correct. Looks like you guys read your agenda today. All right. Next, this is true or false question. So, is the word of the day reciprocate? True or false? Yes, good job. Oh, there's no one who answered wrongly for this question. Okay, nice, nice, nice. Ninth question. How long is a typical prepared speech? 30 seconds because we panic and we forgot what we are about to say. Yes, it's 5 to 7 minutes. All right, and the last question of the day. What is the meaning of it takes two to tango? What is the meaning of our theme? Yes, both parties share responsibility in a situation. Okay, good job, everyone. So, our third place, who is HY? But congratulations. Number two, Beep. And number one, we have Mia. Congratulations. Okay, so I hope you guys had fun in this icebreaker game. So, hope you have more knowledge about Toastmasters. All right, let me go back to the slideshow. Uh, okay, how do I? All right. So, our flow for today is first we will have our prepared speech session where the members will present their prepared speeches with specific objectives. And like what we seen before, we have 4 prepared speech for today. And following next will be table topic session where members or guests will volunteer to present their impromptu speeches. And the last one will be our evaluation session, where the speakers receive constructive feedback on their speeches, as well as it applies to both prepared speech and table topics. And for the role players today, we have the grammarian, Muhammad Arif, and for our art counter, we have Priscila, and for timer, we have Sandeep. So I would like to invite the grammarian to talk about your role today.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Hi guys, as the grammarian today, my role is to listen carefully to everyone here and take notes of their language usage. Grammatical error and any fillers words will be taken notes and be be mindful. And our word of the day is reciprocate. It means, what is the meaning? I also don't know. Wait. To feel, give, or act in return. Example of the word to put in the sentences is she reciprocate his feeling for him. Yeah, we still in Valentine's Day, eh? And that's all from me. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
All right, thank you, Toastmaster Muhammad Arif. And next, I would like to welcome our art counter, Toastmaster Priscilla, to talk about what's the role of the art counter.
Greetings, fellow Toastmaster and guests. The purpose of the art counter is to note words and sounds that are used as a crush or pause filler by anyone who speaks. During the meeting, I will listen for overused words, including and, well, but, so, and you know. I will also listen for filler sounds, including or, and I will also note a speaker repeats a word or phrase such as or this means. At the end of the meeting, I will report the number of times that each speaker used these expressions. Thank you. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Toastmaster Priscilla. And next, we have our timer, Toastmaster Sandeep, to talk about his role as a timer. So,
Good
Toastmaster
evening.
Sandeep.
Thank you very much, Toastmasters of the evening. As I mentioned earlier, everyone, how are you all today? How's your evening today? So, for masters and guests, as a timer, I will time all your TikTok speeches, formal speeches, and so the speaker of the time left by okay, yellow, and also the red card. Okay, so I will give the card. So for today's speech, most of the speeches is within the time slot we have 1:15, and second speaker is 5 to 7, third is 6 minutes. So majority is about 7 minutes. So and for the table topic, I will raise the 1 minute. I will give a card. How many minutes I will raise my script today. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmasters. If the evening.
All right, thank you to our timer. And next. So, as the grammarian has introduced, the word of the day is reciprocate. So, the definition is to feel, give, or act in return. So, example of the sentence would be she reciprocated his feelings for her. Or the second one, my cat meowed at me, so I reciprocated by meowing back. So, you are giving back the same thing. All right, so for the pathway in Toastmaster in UM, there's 6: dynamic leadership, engaging humor, motivational strategies, persuasive influence, presentation mastery, and visionary communication. All right, so now for our prepared speech session. So for our first prepared speech will be by Toastmaster Nina, and it's her level 3 successful club series speech going beyond our club. So can I have the evaluator to talk about her purpose of the speech?
Angel, I don't have a evaluator for
Oh
this.
yeah, all right.
Mm,
So all right. So Nina, is that all there is, Toastmaster Nina? Wait, Toastmaster Nina, is there all there is? Is this all there is, Toastmaster Nina?
okay. Before I start, timer don't start me yet. Can everyone hear me? Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Yes,
Okay.
can hear you clear.
All right. Okay, great. All right, hold on. Okay, so first of all, good evening, everyone. My name is Nina, and I will be talking about the new edition of Toastmasters International, which is the Successful Club series. And specifically, I will be talking about going beyond our club. Now, to start, next slide. Let me ask you a simple question. When you first joined Toastmasters, what did you think you were signing up for? Can anyone unmute and give me a short answer?
A place to give speeches.
Okay. Okay, that is true. Well, okay, for some of you, it may be a place just to give speeches, maybe for you to be more confident, or just to stop saying ums, For me, I just thought I wanted a place to talk because I like to talk. Now, let's move on to the next part. 10 months ago, this is me 10 months ago in my first Toastmasters meeting, which was the 398th meeting. And as you can see, I was shy. If you watch back in the recording, I was shy. I had no idea what to say and how to go about things because I saw these speakers talk with so much enthusiasm, with confidence, and I can only wish to be like that. But then it came to the table topic session. And during the table topics, I remember I talked about labubus and also how significant it was for me during Raya. And somehow from there, I won my first table topic session alongside my other mentor, friend, peer, Wei Xiang. And then from there, I was like, oh, okay, it's not that daunting as I thought. Next slide. Moving on. This was my first physical meeting, the 399th meeting. I became the table topics master, which was very surprising because it was only my second meeting and I had no idea how to be a role player. I just thought, okay, you give up topics and everything should just go. What I didn't know was there are other things there. You had to do handshakes. You have to say speaker, title, speaker. It was a mess. I was a mess. But I was happy to learn how to go about being a proper Toastmasters. And then from there, my ego rised. I said, okay, I can win table topics. I know how to be a role player. What else? Just talk? Psh, I can do that. That is so easy. But of course, I was then later humbled after being here for almost a year now. Next slide. Now, you might be thinking, next slide, please. Okay. So you might be thinking, as a member now, what else is there in Toastmasters? I give speeches, win table topics, be a role player, repeat. And you've been doing that for these four things over and over again for however long you've been in this club. It gets to a point where you even think, okay, what else is there? I can just talk, I can evaluate. Why do I have to pay so much? Let me ask you this. Next question. Next slide, please. Let me ask you this. If Toastmasters for you is only these 2 hours every week, are you really using it to its full potential of what this organization offers? Or at least, is this worth your money? So tonight, I'm not going to talk about what we do well in this club. Instead, I will talk about what exists beyond our Toastmasters Club. Right, next. Before I continue further, for those of you who don't know, the Successful Club series is basically a new addition to completing your levels, specifically level 3, level 4, and level 5. And the purpose of it is to help the club maintain its quality and also retain its members or recruit new members. But of course, let's be honest, a truly successful club doesn't run just on good meetings, but producing members who grow beyond that. Let's start. First one, speech contests. Something many of us have seen, but not everyone have experienced. Now, at first glance, speech contests may look intimidating. Why? Because they stretch you in ways that normal meetings don't. In a regular meeting, go back to the previous slide. I'm just talking about speech contests. Okay, so for speech contests, in a regular meeting, right, you talk in front of people that you know, that you are comfortable with, be it your friends, your mentor, or your mentees. And they understand how you talk, they understand your style, your humor, and they are very supportive. But if in a contest, you speak with strangers, they don't know you, they don't owe you an applause. So, what is this speech contest? Speech contest is a tradition that provides numerous opportunities for you to put yourself out there. Recently, for we just finished our International Speech Area W1 and W2 contest, and we will be proceeding up to Division W for International Speech at the end of March. And for those of you who wants to try out contests, Toastmasters also have other speech contests such as the humorous speech contest, table topics contest, and evaluation contests. Now, what are the roles can we fill to practice our skills? Next slide. So, first one we have is, of course, the speaker. Now, as a speaker, you are judged not on how many words you can spit per minute, but instead on how effectively you deliver your message to the world. And yes, that does sound difficult, but being in an environment like this helps expand your critical thinking, your time management, and facilitating skills in this new and challenging environment. And as for a speaker, your pathway is quite powerful, I would say, because first, we start off at the club area, where you compete with your peers in the club. And if you win, we move on to area, which is, for us, is area W1. Next, we move on to division, district, international, and ultimately the world champion. So if you can see in the graph, we're here in division. And okay, fine. What if then you ask me, Nina, what if I don't want to speak? And that's totally fine because there are other roles you can fulfill in a speech contest. Next slide. What we have instead of speakers, you can also be a judge, making impartial decisions, or if not, be a chief judge, where you overlook all the other judges and make sure there is fairness and integrity. All right, you don't want to be a judge, you can try out as an MC, where you control the flow of the formal event, or a ballot counter, or even if you don't want, you can just be an audience. An audience is basically just as important as any other role because it may not seem much, but it contributes so much by active listening and provide the contestants with instant feedback just by your face and your reaction to their speeches. Every role creates leadership, and we all need to start somewhere. So if you, for someone who once stood nervously at the club podium, can go up to the global stage, why can't you try? Okay, moving on to the next one. We will talk about the leadership beyond the club. Now, next page. As mentioned before, the first successful club series talk, which was given by Toastmaster Aimaan, he mentions the leadership roles within the club, which, as you can see, is the excos and also mentors, such as the president, of what it is to be a president, to be the VPE, VPM, so on and so forth. And that is already meaningful enough. But of course, in Toastmasters, it's not just at the club level. Beyond our club, there's more. Next page. Beyond our club, we have area directors, we have the division officers, district leaders, and also the board of directors at an international level. And Zhi Jun, if you can agree with me, being an area director is not the easiest, right? Because you are not just managing one club, you are managing multiple clubs all at once. And being directors, being above just a president of a club, you have to motivate others that you never recruited. You have to solve other clubs' problem and coach leaders who are just your peers. And then when you reach division level, you have to start thinking strategically. And then at district level, you're coordinating hundreds, if not thousands of members. And that is real leadership training, which I find quite funny because think about it, people pay thousands for leadership courses, but Toastmasters easily gives you these opportunities. And yes, it is scary because now your decision affects people. Your words can move their lives. And the best part of it all is when you help them, you know you're not just improving yourself, you are helping others grow. And for me, I think that is the purest form of leadership. Now, moving on, third part, which is networking. Networking is something many people overlook, specifically when it comes to conferences. For me, I used to think going about conferences is just going to big fancy meetings, pretending to know what you're saying or something, and just stand there, hoping someone would come up to you and talk. But no, they're not just big meetings. They are exposures, especially in Toastmasters. Next page. What you will find at a conference, right, is you'll see high level of speech contests, you'll see seminars by educated speakers, and also the Toastmasters camaraderie, where the speakers from other industries, vast backgrounds, and cultures come to the international convention. This is where you would see speakers operate at different level. You learn that the techniques where you've never seen before in your own club, you build much more bigger connections, and you realize that our Toastmasters is not just a random club in our campus. No, it's big, it's global, over 140 countries, thousands of clubs, millions of speeches. And when you attend your conference, or at least the international convention, your perspective changes, because that's when you stop thinking like a club member. You start thinking like a part of a global movement. And that shifts how you carry yourself. Next. Okay. Does any of you know who this old man is on the left? Can someone like open their mic and answer? Because I cannot really see your chat. Can anyone try? No? Ikhtifar, do you know this old man? Hello?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Anyone? Aimaan, do you know?
No, I don't. Is it a
Okay.
guy?
Yeah, it is a guy.
Yeah, that's my answer. It's a
Oh my
guy.
god, you're
Is
so
this
smart.
Aiman's father?
No, okay. Okay, on the left here, it's not just any guy. It is our ex Chief Justice Tun Zaki Azmi. And in a mooting competition, the one that my friends attended, he mentioned to my friends that one way to be a good litigation lawyer is through being a Toastmaster. And I found that so funny because I had friends who genuinely thought Toastmasters was not all that. It's just a place where you talk. But to have the former Chief Justice mentioning Toastmasters, it got me a little happy because as of now, I am the only Toastmaster in the law faculty. So of course, it made me a little proud, a little more proud to be a Toastmaster of Toastmasters. And with that, let's conclude today's talk. Next page. Okay, so in conclusion, learning and leadership there is options for that everywhere, be it in the club or beyond the club. Like what we have, contests help sharpen us, leadership roles help strengthen us, and conferences help expand us. But of course, none of that can happen automatically because everything requires intention. So, next page. So, tonight, I want to leave you with this. Before you end your Toastmasters journey, at least compete in one contest. Volunteer for one role, be it in the district or area, attend one conference, or at the very least, attend one other club. Just one. And then, who knows? Maybe, just maybe, 10 months from now, when you look back at your Toastmaster journey, I hope it's not defined to just these 2 hours of your week. Instead, you define it by the stages that you have stepped on. And with that, I would like to end my speech. Thank you very much. Back to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
All right, thank you, Toastmaster Nina, for inspiring speech. To be honest, like when I first heard about Toastmaster, I literally thought it's a club to learn how to make toast and become a master of making toast. And I never thought it's about improving your speech, improving your leadership. And I'm glad that I'm here today. I think I'm also the only foundation students in the Toastmaster Club. And I'm glad that I made the decision to join despite the expensive fees. All right, so for the next speech of today, we have Lieva with her level 1 writing a speech with purpose, and I would like her evaluator to talk about her speech purpose today.
All right, thank you, Angel. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
All right. So, Lieva, the purpose of your speech tonight is to learn or review basic methods for writing a speech with a defined purpose to present a well-organized speech of any topic. Back to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
Alright, so now let's invite Toastmaster Livashini. The purpose, but the pressure to have it all together, Toastmaster Livashini. Toastmaster Livashini, the pressure to have it all together.
All right. Thank you, Toastmaster of the evening, Toastmaster Angel. Before we begin, please don't start the timer yet. Am I audible? Can I be heard clearly?
Perfectly audible.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Am I clear? Can you all see? Because I can't really see the
Yes.
key. All right. Thank you, everybody. I shall begin my speech.
Just 1 minute.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, can you see the card on my this one? The
Uh,
We can see it, but it's a bit laggy at your side.
yeah, it is a bit laggy, but I think I'm also timing myself, so I think it should be okay.
Alright.
Can I begin? Can I
Yeah.
begin? All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, can you imagine carrying three really heavy bags? You can't really see my bags. One is filled with Simons, another one filled with expectation of others, and the other one worries that we never voice out. Ladies and gentlemen, can you imagine that all these worries are kept silently inside of you and is never visible to anyone? We live in a world where we are expected to keep composed despite crumbling deep down. Social media doesn't make it any better as well. Social media presents this polished facade, an illusion of success and achievement that causes rifts between individuals as they are competing amongst each other to see who is the best. But along the way, we tend to forget that struggling is not a personal failure. Today, let me talk about a matter that a lot of us are going through, but rarely confess: the pressure to keep it all together. Let me begin with the most obvious version of the pressure, since we are all students. Dun, dun, dun. Academics. Academic pressure. Nowadays, merely passing is just not the benchmark. Students are expected to excel spectacularly in various fields, from participating and winning international competitions to actually taking up leadership positions, and last but not least, building and constructing a robust portfolio. We are mapping the trajectory of our future despite, well, barely understanding ourselves. Deadlines pile up. I believe everybody can relate. Sometimes spectrum can be down and we are all rushing to submit. Sleep becomes negotiable where all of us are sleeping about 3 to 4 hours per day, and rest is just undeserving at this point. Nevertheless, let's circle back to the very essence of education. It was never a race. It was never meant to be a race. And students nowadays think and assume that it is a competition for everything and often compare themselves to their peers. But this was never the case. We think that, wow, they are effortlessly successful, but are we aware that behind that confident smile, they are struggling with anxiety and self doubt? So, yes, never judge, as education is always a journey. Let's move on to the second expectation or pressure, the most, well, unexpected one: friendship. The pressure to maintain friendships, especially in this day and age. We are trying to be present, to be supportive, while being immensely overwhelmed by our own responsibilities. Can you imagine? We have to respond to our friends' messages. We need to be aware. We need to be present during any meetings or any friendly meetings that we have scheduled while we are barely balancing whatever's going on in our lives? Sometimes we have to cancel plans. I've had to cancel quite a number of plans over my few years of being in friendships. I'm just overwhelmed at times. I'm exhausted. But the grief, oh my, just the grief that comes after that, the guilt just washes you up because I want to be there. I want to be present. I want to immerse myself, but I just cannot do it. I am exhausted. Other times, I am maintaining the facade. I'm maintaining this perfect illusion that I'm present among my friends, physically present. The catch is, my mind is drifting everywhere. They are all speaking while I am just stressing about the number of responsibilities and commitments I have got going on. Well, truth be told, modern relationships nowadays require a load of commitment, investment, and planning. It's just a lot. Nevertheless, why do we keep pulling through? Why do we try? This is a question to the audience. Why do we never stop showing up for our friends? Well, the answer should be taken with a grain of salt. It's because we fear disconnection. Let's move on to the final expectation or the final version of pressure. The ones that we are all born with, the familial expectations. This adds a very interesting dimension to the overall concept of pressure itself because from the time we begin to walk, from the moment we begin to speak, we are basically nurtured by our family members. But at the same time, expectations are being layered one by one continuously onto us without even realizing. These expectations might go in two ways. The first manner would be people would actually think it's worthwhile and would take it up. However, there are individuals that might find it to be clashing with their own personal goals. This might lead to riffraffs and clashes among family members, and this can permanently clash or permanently injure a familial relationship. To conclude this particular version of pressure, we should not. There are individuals who are actually who keep these expectations in, especially familial. They do not want to pressure. They do not want to burden or worry their loved ones. However, as time goes on, as pressure builds, as pressure condenses like a volcano, it erupts, and this may lead to depression. Dear audience, the million-dollar question is, are we supposed to keep everything together? Well, the answer is nobody has it actually figured out. The most confident individuals are actually struggling beneath all of that. The most successful students that we know are doubting themselves constantly. So the message is we should never strive for perfection because perfection is just unrealistic. We should try to be honest with ourselves, divert our focus to continue to build on that inner strength, to be able to allow ourselves to ask for help, to allow ourselves to learn, to rest, to grow. Because maybe, just maybe, perfection was never the goal. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Lieva Shini. So your speech made me think of a word, FOMO, which is fear of missing out, which I believe, okay, I'm not sure about you guys, but for me, I also kind of fear of missing out sometimes when my friends go on a vacation, but I need to stay at UM to study for my mid-sem. Yeah, I'm having my mid-sem next week. All right, so thank you for your speech. Next, for our third speaker of today, we have Vashifah. So Toastmaster Vashifah will be presenting her level 1 evaluation and feedback, which is her first speech. and I would like her evaluator to talk about the speech purpose.
Right. Am I audible? Everyone? Hello?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay. So the purpose of this project is to practice applying feedback and serve as a speech evaluator during a club meeting. And it's also for the member to present his speech and receive feedback from the evaluator.
All right, thank you, Toastmaster Hakim. So now I would like to welcome Toastmaster Vashifah. To be or not to be? To be or not to be? Toastmaster Vashifah, the stage is yours.
Hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
To be or not to be. These 6 words, first written by Shakespeare more than 400 years ago, still echo in every corner of our lives. Now, I'm no Shakespeare or literature enthusiast, but I have come across this famous quote myself and pondered upon its meaning. What does it mean to be or not to be? What is its significance? And where does this come from? So naturally, I Googled to get some perspective. Apparently, the quote, to be or not to be, that is the question, is the opening line of a famous speech by William Shakespeare's play Hamlet. In the play Hamlet, this phrase introduces the young prince's deepest contemplation. Is it better to endure the hardships and pain of life, or to end one's existence by dying? Now, Hamlet's question here is haunting, but it is also timeless. Each of us, in our own way, wrestle with this very choice. Do we endure or do we resist? Do we give up or do we keep going? Do we rise to life's challenges or do we retreat into our comfort? To be or not to be? This is not simply a philosophical question, it is the most practical question of our lives. When you wake up each morning, before the world starts rushing in, you have a choice to be the best version of yourself, to stand tall, to act with courage, to make a difference, or not to be, to shrink, to delay, to let fear or doubt to decide your future. And let's be honest, choosing to be is never easy. Life will test you with setbacks, heartbreaks, and rejections. You will fail exams, lose opportunities, get turned away from jobs, and hear the word no more times than you care to count. You will meet people who doubt you, and worst of all, you will have moments where you will doubt yourself. But here lies the truth. Every great success story began with a person who chose to be. So I'll give you 2 real-life examples for you guys to relate and understand what does it mean to be and not to be. Starting with Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison failed 1,000 times before inventing the first light bulb. Did he stop at failure number 999? No, he chose to be persistent, to keep trying, and to turn his failure into fuel for discovery. And because of that choice, he gave the world the gift of light, an invention that transformed our lives, the way we work, and how we see. Another example would be Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela spent 27 years in prison. Did he surrender into bitterness? No. He chose to be forgiving, to stand for unity rather than revenge, and to lead his nation into freedom with dignity. And because of that very choice, he became the first Black president of South Africa and dismantled apartheid, and also inspired the whole world with a vision of reconciliation. As you can see here, each one of them faced a moment where to not be would have been easier, like quitting, hiding, or giving into despair. But instead, they chose to be. That is, in this context, to rise, to endure, and to transform their pain into purpose. So the question is, what about you? Maybe you are a student struggling to find your place in the world. Maybe you're unsure of your talents and worried whether you will succeed. Maybe you look around and think others are smarter, richer, stronger, or luckier than you. But remember this, being is not about what you already have or don't have. It's about what you decide to do with what you do have. The difference between to be and not to be is not the resources, it's not your background, it is not talent. The difference is courage. The courage to try, the courage to fail, the courage to keep moving forward when the path is unclear. To be is to choose action over hesitation, hope over fear, growth over comfort, and to reciprocate the faith that others place in you with determination and resilience. Let me share a truth that may sound simple but changes everything. Your future self is shaped by the choices you make today. Each time you push a little harder, study a little longer, practice a little more, you are voting for the person you want to be. Each time you choose discipline over distraction, courage over comfort, you are answering to be. And yes, it will be hard, but difficulty is not your enemy. Difficulty is your training ground. A seed cannot grow without breaking its shell. A butterfly cannot fly without struggling out of its cocoon. And so, you cannot rise to your potential without facing your share of struggles. So, the next time you meet an obstacle, do not ask, why me? Ask instead, is this the moment I will choose to be? My friends, to be is not a one-time decision. It's a choice you must renew every single day. You will not always get it right. And there will be days where you fall, days when you doubt, days when not to be feels easier. But every new sunrise gives another chance for you to answer differently. So when the world doubts you, choose to be. When failure knocks at your door, choose to be. When fear whispers in your ears, choose to be. When the path seems too long, choose to be, because your story is still being written and the pen is in your hands. Now, as you can see here, Shakespeare asked a question, but you must live the answer. To be or not to be? I say to be, always to be. That's all for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Washifah. To be or not to be. Thank you for your speech. All right, so we have our last speaker of today, which is from Toastmaster Shin, and she'll be presenting for her level 3, Know Your Sense of Humor. So may I have her evaluated to talk about her speech purpose?
Hi, Shinin. The purpose of this project, Know Your Sense of Humor, is for you to begin developing a collection of humor stories to present a speech that includes humor. All the best and looking forward to your speech. Back to you, Toastmaster Arif.
All right, thank you, Toastmaster Zhi Jun. Now, let's invite Toastmaster Shin Yin, University Live. University Live, Toastmaster Shin Yin.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster of the evening. Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Have you ever heard about the fantasy of university life? They say, university is the best time of your life. Full of freedom, full of joy, no stress. They say, you will have as many subjects as before. You can skip lectures. You will have much more time for friends, cafes, clubs, events. And that is what they call the uni life. Well, they were right. You don't have as many subjects. It's just 6 per semester, half per year. You don't need to attend lectures physically. All you need to do is to wake up at the right time, log into Spectrum, and click the present button. And yes, you'll have plenty of time for your friends. But do your friends have time for you? There can always be the one friend that be like, yo, what's up? Gathering? No. Kidding. Simon peak period, bro. Don't have assignment to do. Oh yeah, assignment. Simon peak period. A new term I only learned after entering university. Well, I'd say not quite a good one. At the beginning of the semester, life is always peaceful. Simon, Dad, come on, we still have a lot of time left. But suddenly, you are forced to know what an assignment is, what a test is, and what a presentation is. They are here to make you suffer. And they are the main reason you are always burning the midnight oil. And then you start to promise to yourself, well, semester, I'm going to start earlier. Trust me. How trustworthy is that? The same as saying that, well, tonight I'm going to sleep early. Trust me. Impossible. Talk about uni life. When I first entered UM, I thought, wow, this started happening in university. So many clubs, so many events, so many choices. My heart was beating fast. Only until the first semester, I realized my heart beat fast, not because I was excited, but I was panicking. Sure, you are going to take that much. Are you sure? Not quite now. Monday to Friday, never-ending meetings, never-ending practices. I reached my dorm every night at 10 p.m. It was exhausting, especially after a full days of activities. I still had to OT for my assignment. But I asked myself, Voila, why are you doing this to yourself? At least for work, there's still pay for overtime. But now, all you get is a triple shot of coffee. Every semester, I told my friend, this is the last time. I'm kidding. At first, my friend will still ask me to think twice. And now, I guess, maybe she is used to it. Because now it became something like, yeah, sure. I'm still waiting. After 4 year time, right? After 4 years, you'll be quitting. Of course I am, because I will be graduating by then. Well, that's the saying. United we stand, divided we fall. I felt that in UM, sincerely. Especially during the module registration period. That is the true definition of united we stand. Or against the UM administration. Semester, there was a poll created in my faculty group chat because of the new implemented queuing system. Worst event in 2025. Manchester United or Maya Potter. And obviously, Maya Potter won, followed by the most famous UM quote. UM is one. And of course, we cannot talk about the university without talking about the group assignment. That is when you truly learn that nothing is impossible. All it takes is just a group assignment. A teammate who is a rapper suddenly freestyle on a presentation day. A teammate who is allergic to his work. Busybody with everyone works, but not his. Or a teammate who has a good time management. Be missing for the whole semester, but when there's a submission for assignment, teammate will always be there. Once, I was in a group with 4 of my friends and somebody in the class. Well, other than he keep ghosting us, everything was smooth. Way too smooth. So just 1 week before the submission, he came. So, guys, sorry. I'm from another occurrence. Turns out, from the beginning, from the grouping, everything is not right. Well, you see, it might only take 2 to tango, but now 5 to panic. The group chat immediately exploded. I told them, chill. Everything is still under control. What we need to do now is to text the lecturer. Now, immediately, text him. So we texted, and it was a good ending for us. But I'm not quite sure about him. Because, sometimes it might take two to tango, five to panic, but seems like it only takes one to bear consequences. He was excluded from our group. I'm sorry, buddy. That's life. University life isn't full of joy, freedom, with no stress. That is a fantasy. It's chaotic, it's stressful. But it's also the last time that you're allowed to enjoy your student price. It's the time you discover your goal, your passions, and your friends. Of course, with your indispensable buddies. ChatGPT, Gemini, Copilot, others. Someone once said, university is the best time of your life. I don't know if that's true, but I know that uni life is short. One moment you are complaining about the Maya portal, the next moment you are wearing a graduation gown. So the next time chaos happens, sure, everything is under control. All you need to do, all you need to worry about is to enjoy while it lasts. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shin Yin, for her speech, University Life. I can truly relate so much as a university student in UM. Yes, Maya Porter always clashes, and and sometimes it made me like hand out my assignment past the due date, and we all hate that. All right. So next, we would come to the time where we vote for our best project speaker. All right. So just to make sure. Eh. Oh, all right. So it's gonna be a poll here. So I believe your Zoom meeting has popped up a poll. And you can just choose one of our speaker that you think is the best for today's meeting. I'll give everyone until 9:09. Is that okay?
All right.
Or
The poll is all right. Everyone has voted. The results are in. Thank you for voting.
oh, all right. That's nice. Okay, so all right. So that's the end for our prepared speech session. Next, we'll go on to our table topic session. Now I would like to welcome our table topic master, Toastmaster Yanxiu.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the evening. So, hello everyone. I'm the table topic master for today. Let me share my screen first. Can you guys see my screen?
Yep.
Okay. So for today's meeting theme, it takes two to tango. So it can be in any kind of relationship, partnership, friendship, but it depends on your destiny, which kind of topic you'll be chosen, as we'll be using the wheel of names for this. So can I get any volunteers to be the table topic speaker? I guess we have time for three today.
Can I go?
Okay, sure. Okay, so Toastmaster Ikhtifar. When you say click, I will spin the wheel.
Oh, click.
Okay. Okay. Your title is Things That Step on Your Toes. things that step on your toes, Toastmaster Ikhtifar. Toastmaster Ikhtifar, things that step on your toes. The stage is yours.
I was expecting love related titles. Who's your first crush? Who's your last crush? When's your first kiss? When is your first date? But then Yansu give me things that step on my toes. Let me see. Things that step on my toes. Well, number one is those icks that I have. Like for example, you bring a date for a date, and the only reaction that she has is, this is all that we are eating tonight. Just imagine the stress. We already like spend half a day or like 1 week planning our date, and our date just say that, is this all that we are eating? Dude, I spent half a week planning, and that's your reaction? Give some chance to me, please. Don't just say that this is all that I have. I mean, like, how irritating is that? You spend 1 week planning, consulting your friends, consulting ChatGPT, consulting Gemini and all that, and the reaction is pointless. It's like spending 300 ringgit down the drain without any feedback or any positive feedback given back to me. I mean, like, don't you just feel like killing that person? Like, hey, give me back my 300. Yeah, I think that's the main thing that will step on my toes. Back to you, Yansu.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Ikhtifar. But I can see that I think the latest thing that step on your toes is my topic, which is not love related to you. Okay, thank you. Okay, now can I have the next volunteer? Okay, sure. Ying Si? Wait, yeah, let me share my screen. Right. Okay. Okay. Ying Si, when you say click, then I will split in the wheel.
Click.
Okay. Okay. Ying Si, swiping in Toastmaster Ying Si, swiping into a tango. Swiping into a tango, Toastmaster Ying Si. The stage is yours.
Okay. Swiping into the tango. Once I get this topic, I feel like my body is swiping. I can't really know what's the meaning is, but I will try to give a speech about that. So based on what I know is it takes two to tango, and then swiping. I just sweep the floor today morning because I need to do house chores when I'm at home. Okay, so swiping on the two tango, right? Swiping on the two tango. Swiping. This is love related title. Is it? Okay, swiping into a tango. Okay, so since Ikhtifar gave me the hints, love related title. But for me, I don't have romance story lah. Maybe I can share a bit. Like during my secondary school, I have a crush. Yeah, so my crush is good at singing. So I don't know why. I always find him and then want to get some feedback about my singing skills. Like, well, take a chance to communicate with him. So I really want and hope that I can one day sing with her on the stage, and my dream comes true. During my graduation day,
we are invited to become the singers on the stage as a duet. We sang the You Are the Reason. Although I get too nervous and then I sing out of the rhythm at the back, but we are very happy. And then I also get many applause from the audience. Yeah, so that's all for my speech. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ying Si. Okay, I like the way how you react to the topic, like even when you don't understand. And this is what an impromptu speech, which is table topics, train for you to like how you react to like sudden topics. Okay, so now can we have the last table topic speaker for today? Any volunteers? Or perhaps nomination?
Try. Long time didn't do table topics.
Okay, Toastmaster Zhi Jun. Okay, Toastmaster Zhi Jun will be our last table topic speaker for today. Okay, when you say click, I'll click the speed.
Click.
Oi. Okay, Toastmaster Zhi Jun. Two left feet in life. Two left feet in life. Toastmaster Zhi Jun. The stage is yours.
Give me a moment. Give me around 30 seconds to think about what to talk. Two left feet in my life. I can't exactly say a situation happened in my life because I'm define myself as a quite clumsy people. And, and sometimes accidentally do some clumsy things in my life. First, one awkward moment I think before is I easy to get inside to a wrong gender toilet since young, and now still haven't changed yet. Yeah, as you see, I'm a girl, and there are some moments since young. I especially if the toilet does not give a sign like this the female one is a pink color and men's one is a blue color, then I will easy to get wrong because I have difficulty in looking the sign. Eventually, like for example, I think it's a toilet at the restaurant at the mid valley third floor, and the boys one and the boys one and the girls one both are blue, both are in blue. So sometimes I just watching at my phone, and then I just accidentally get into the boy one, and luckily there's no people, and I just run and when I see there's as a toilet for the band, I see it and then I realize that what am I doing? Then I accidentally run out it quickly. And the quite odd one is during my second year when I'm taking my final exam in second year, and and then after finish my advanced calculus final, And then everyone, some feel they are confident, some feel they are no. And then I just thinking, oh, I just finished one paper, and then well, finally my mind is blank. And then at this moment, I accidentally stepped into a toilet and I saw one of my male classmates is peeing. And what I think, wow, I'm looking at him, he's looking at me. And that's how I think, oh shit, I said sorry. And then that time I just cannot, I just run out from the restroom. And this is a quite awkward moment for me and also the classmate. And who is the classmate? I don't want to say. I think you all also don't know him. I just don't say out the name. Yeah, I think there's quite two lovely situation in my life. It's easily to get into the wrong gender restroom. Yeah, back to you, table topic master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Zhi Jun. Okay, there. They were like very. This is a very interesting story, and I like the way you present it. It's a little bit funny. Thank you. Okay, I guess that's the end of our table topic session today. Thank you all for participating in the table topic session, and I guess we can uh vote for the best table topic speaker. Okay, the voting is on the screen. Okay. Thank you everyone, and back to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
All right, let me share back my screen. Okay, so that's the end for our table topic session. Thank you to our Thank you to our table topic master for facilitating this session.
I would like to first say congratulations, Lieva on completing your second speech of level 1, which is the speech with purpose, with your title of The Pressure of Keeping It All Together. I would say she did a wonderful speech. All in all, could I get some claps in the chat or some hands up, claps in the chat for her wonderful speech? Now, lovely. Okay. So, from the way I've seen your speech, I, as your personal friend and has seen you speaking like this before, I would first like to address what you excelled at. So, from the way I saw it, I loved your stage presence. You used props. You used your stage. From the way I saw it, you didn't only just use props to just demonstrate it as like normal or academic, but the tote bags in metaphorical terms regarding life expectancies, academic pressure. Those are some interesting ways to elevate your speech, and I loved it. Moving on from that, you had great pauses. Not only was your tone so great that you had your highs and your lows, your pauses were there. It was in the right spots where you let the words sink in, as well as the fact that it also let you have emphasis on certain words where you wanted the emphasis to be. And in a sense, it gave the crowd some time to actually soak in your speech, which was something great as well, I noticed. Apart from that, you also had great eye contact. You kept eye contact with the camera. Sometimes when you were giving your examples, you also focused on your examples, and that was great. I loved how you managed to keep the eye contact going. And apart from that, I loved your way of playing with words. Robust, robust speaking, the ups and the lows. I can barely remember the examples now, but from the way I see, I know you're a proficient speaker, and I love the way how you articulated your speech today, in a sense that it made you shine. In a sense that it made me also think about your speech myself, even after the speech ended. Moving on, like every speaker, they have things they excel at, and there are some things that you as a speaker could work on yourself. And from the way I saw it, there are three things I like to address. Okay. You used stage presence, right? You're moving left to right. But from the way I saw it, I loved it. My opinion on this is that you were floating. You're floating a bit too much for my liking, because you're moving your head, and then you're moving back and front. It's a bit shaky, and sometimes it can distract the audience looking at you. And in a sense, it kind of distracts, I said that already, it distracts the person. Moving on from that, I realized there were times you were panicked. From a person who has seen you spoke before, there were times where you panicked and you improvised. And in those parts, you rushed your speech. And from what I saw here is, pace yourself. Before the speech, pace yourself. Take time to actually know your speech. Or, if you want, maintain even breathing as you speak. I know you get caught up in the moment and you want to put emphasis on that certain point, and you'll increase the pace of your speech, but try to evenly breathe as you speak too, so you don't rush through it. And a third one from me, it's a personal opinion. Your tone, you brought up your theatrical flair tonight. I saw it. I felt it in your speech. And from the way I saw it, your tone was high. Most of the time, I saw it was high. And you brought it out once or twice when you want to bring the emphasis down. But from the way I saw it, it was high, down, up. And I think from what you can say here is, try to bring in more lows, more highs, more lows, so that there's a natural flow in it and it's not overly high or not low from that. But to end it together, I truly loved your speech. From your best friend, I truly loved your speech. I loved the execution. I loved the gestures. I loved the stage presence. I loved your props. I loved everything about it, as well as the fact that you could improve in certain points, but I know you can do great. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Linisha. That was a very, very detailed evaluation. Moving on, I'd like to invite Toastmaster Hakim to present his evaluation for Toastmaster Vashifah.
Right. Hello, everyone. So, Vashifah. Vashifah? Sorry. So, first of all, wonderful speech. Superb. I like that your speech always steps back to the topic, and it always retreats back to that main status quo, which keeps audience fresh in their memories. And then we as audience get to hear stories about all the great philosophers who probably revolutionized and has great influence over our ideologies in life. And that was great. That was very moving. Your expressions, your tones, it was on point. And great job with the hand movements. It really helps with the storytelling. Although we as audience probably couldn't see much because of the camera filter. Nevertheless, great job. Your delivery was impressive, but maybe just a small tweak to the pacing would help. Maybe along the lines you could take a step back and let the silence do the talking. And that way that enables the audience to absorb and ingest your words better. Also, I wish too that there was a personal story added on, something from your life something that happened in your life, something that you went through, that you could relate to the topic. And that way it can keep the audience, us, and the speaker, yourself, connected. And overall just flourishes the whole speech. So overall, great job. It was motivational, and it was brilliant. I think you owe yourself a round of applause, and looking forward for your next speech. That'll be all. Back to you, Shi.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Hakim. All right, moving on, I'd like to invite Toastmaster Zhi Jun to present her evaluation for Toastmaster Shin. The stage is yours.
Hi, Shin. I can truly relate about your university life with mine. As a graduating student, I can how I can relate on the the smiles and the tears about the 4-year uni life. Yeah, and believe that everyone can relate to this also. In terms of the purpose statement, congratulations, you have meet the purpose statement, which is to include the humors inside your speech. In your speech, there are some truly a funny one, such as the bad things like skip lectures or just click the attendance button inside the uni website, and having fun with friends or eating with mama together. And there are also sobs and tears, the truly fun, like the such as rushing for assignment, got free riders in assignment, or during the system down in module registration and let us and until the students can't register for the module they want. And besides, I was impressed with your conclusion. In your conclusion, you did not define about what uni life is. Is it good or is it a bad one? You just give a question like, is a uni life is good or bad or something? And I don't know, but I know that it's quite a memorable one. Yeah, it gives a space for the audience to reflect about their uni life too. In terms of improvement, you may improve in the first, I would say it is the camera angle, especially for the live setting, because I realized that your head is quite in front of the camera and then it's covering your forehead and your hand movement. So we can see how happy or how happy in during your speech. So perhaps you can adjust your camera angle so that we can look more clear about you. Like for example, just move backward a bit, and then like me, you can see my hands, you can see my whole face. Like, yeah. And second, I noticed that there are some jargons in your speech. What, for example, spectrum. For those who are not UM students or staff, Spectrum is a website where the lecturers will upload the course materials, the tests, or everything announcement inside for the students. So if the meeting setting includes non-US students or non-US staffs, you may try to explain it more about what is a spectrum, or just use another general term like the uni website something to replace the word spectrum so that everyone can know what is it, your speech. All in all, I like about your humor and impressed in your conclusion. You may improve in the camera angle setting and also remove the jargons in your speech. And back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Zhi Jun. I like your holistic evaluation. And last but not least, I'd like to invite Toastmaster Zhi Jun to present his evaluation for our speech evaluator, Toastmaster Hakim.
Yes, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yes, thank you very much. Hi. So, Toastmaster Hakim, well, congratulations. Now, this is the first evaluation of the day. Everyone give a round of applause. This is his first evaluation, speech evaluation, and I'll congratulate you for that because there are some highlights that I like to point out that works really, really well with your evaluation, which I think there are two main things. One is that you related back to the content. You talk about the context, you talk about what kind of picture do you have, and you relate back to it. And the second thing is the sandwich method, is that you started it with a compliment, with the areas of improvement, and end it with a compliment. Now, this is quite an interesting structure because this is how we usually do it. Now, something that I like to point out, and also it is the areas of improvement for you, from my view, is the structure of the evaluation as a whole. Because you mentioned content, you mentioned this and that, and then at the very, very center, middle part, you mentioned about the areas of improvement where the speaker could take a step back and sit in the silence and let everything sink in. Then you continue back to the compliment. Now, those lines are not very visible. It's not too clear. The details are concise on where it is. But what matters more is the structure of it. So my suggestion to you is to say, hey, this is what's good. This is my areas of improvement, and to the conclusion, to mention the word, like how you say chapter 1 or chapter 2 or last chapter of it, the conclusion, 1, 2, and 3. And to flesh out especially the areas of improvement in the center, because it is easier to digest that way. That is one point of improvement. And the other one is to list it down in numbers. So the things that you have done well, 1 and 2, and the things that I suggest you to improve on is 1 and 2. 1 and 2, and that is enough. At the very, very conclusion, you can say 1, 2, you have did good things in 1, good things in 2, and then improve on 1, improve of 2. Now, this is a very good way to summarize it. You can try it out because this is still the first time. In the end, I would say to conclude all the evaluation, you are very concise, you related back to the context, good pauses, and it is very easy to digest. And my observation of it is a bit hard to pinpoint the areas of improvement, which brings me to 2 areas of improvement, the structure, and to conclude it with 1, 2, and 3. Back to you, General Evaluator, and keep up the good work.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Zhi Jun. I really like how all our speech evaluators acknowledged and commend the good points that our speakers have done. And all of you have really interesting points, such as the use of metaphors, the personalization of the speaker's story, and the use of pauses. So this represents that all of you have truly soaked into the speaker's speeches and you have related yourself to them. So, and it's also not easy to take note of the speaker's body language, facial expressions, vocal varieties in just a small rectangle screen in an online meeting. So kudos for that. And if I may suggest, we could start our evaluation by stating whether the speaker has achieved their purpose statement of the project or not. Before moving on to elaborating the good points and suggestions for improvement that the speaker could have done. All right, so give a pat on your back for all of our speakers and speech evaluators. Now, I'd like to invite our table topics evaluator, Toastmaster Zhe Xi, to present her evaluation.
All right, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, so we'll start with the first table topic speaker, Ikhtifar, which is the title Things That Step on Your Toes. So firstly, I would like to say that it's a good speech because you are very familiar with the techniques used in the speeches, such as vocal variety, like you have the ik. And next is the body language. You use your left hand and right hand to show like left is ChatGPT, right is Gemini. And next is also your facial expression. So I would think that because you use those techniques very comfortably in your speech, that makes us, the audience,
we feel included while listening to your speech, and you can grab the attention of the audience, and that is very interesting. Next, I like a good point of view, which is like you mentioned when you're in the closing, you grab back to the title itself. So you mentioned back what is the things that set on your toes, which is what. So I think this way it gives a great structure while you're giving your speech. So I would like to give a challenge to you to throughout your speech, which is when you make your next speech, try to make your speech smoother, and maybe you could challenge yourself to not think as much as the time, because I noticed that you may have just used too much of your time because it's a table topic speech. So it's just 1 to 2 minutes. So some of the time is when you are thinking. So maybe if you want to think for some time, you could start later on. So overall, you have a great content, flow and structure, but I would like to challenge you to make your speech smoother, and maybe you could cut down on your thinking time. And that's a good speech from me. And moving on to Ying Si swiping into the tango, I would say from the audience reaction, I could see that a good point of view is that you share your personal story, and it could all of us are focusing on your speech because it's original and it's creative at some point. So you tried to elaborate on the title, even though maybe you didn't understand that much. So I think it's great because you just keep on to that and you didn't use much of your time to like think what is the meaning of that. So you just move on. I think it's great. But I would say that you need to focus on your time management. And since that when you start your speech, you interact with the audience saying that I don't know what's the meaning of it. And since you saw the message, the chat in the chat, and you react with that, I think within the 1 to 2 minute in the table topic, it might take some time already. So maybe it's like 40 seconds around that timeline. So I would say you could, of course, you could interact with the audience, but maybe you need to balance between uh focusing on your topic itself and also with the audience. So overall, I love that you are comfortable at speaking and interacting with the audience and you stick with the topic, but I would say you could try to grab a balance between interacting with the audience and also your speech itself. Okay, lastly is Zhi Jun with the title Two Left Feet in Life. So I would say that I really love your speech because it's humorous, it's original, and it's very specific. And you gave the example that you enter the wrong gender's toilet, which is like uh very realistic, and you you describe it in a detailed way that all of the audience can relate it. So I would say that I could see that it's impromptu and you react it in a great way. And due to the personal experience, the audience might find it fun, and also we couldn't relate, but we know what's the situation like. We could imagine the condition because you describe it out very great. And also, you wrap up in the closing about your title. So I would say that it's a great structure in your speech. So I think that's a good point. But lastly, I would say maybe I could challenge you to think with a shorter time because it's allowed in the table topics to have some time to think. You say you need 30 seconds, but maybe you could challenge yourself to make it more impromptu to really train yourself while thinking about your content to deliver during your speech. So, so overall, I think that's a great speech because it includes very great content. It's humorous, and also it grabs the audience attention while you are going with a great flow. But you could think with a shorter time to challenge yourself with the purpose of table topic, which is impromptu speech. That's from me. I'm back to GE. Hi.
Thank you so much, Zhe Xi. I love that you provide a challenge to each of our speakers today, and you also explain why are these challenges important. So, and this is also a good practice for us so that the speaker knows how to improve and also know why to improve. So this is definitely a good practice. And Zhe Xi also focuses on the audience engagement when the speaker is speaking instead of just merely focusing on the speaker only. So I really have to acknowledge you for that. So good job, Zhe Xi. Alright, so for now, let's vote for our best evaluator. Could we have the poll up? May I know, is anyone putting up the poll?
Hold on. Yeah, I'm setting up the poll.
Alright.
The poll is not live.
Alright, please vote for your best evaluator of the day. Okay, are all votes in?
Yeah. All right. The vote will close in 3, 2, 1. Okay. The poll is ended. Thank you for voting.
Thank you so much, Aimaan. Alright, so now let's move on to our technical role players of the day. First off, we would have our grammarian, Muhammad Arif from Yutar Sungai Long Toastmasters Club to present his grammarian report.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Toastmaster Club. You guys make me happy as a grammarian today. You guys shower me with nice words and beautiful quotes. First of all, let's dive to the word of the day. Use reciprocate. First of all, our Toastmaster evening, Angel. Aimaan also have a use it, and our speaker, the first speaker, Nina. I apologize if I miss anyone else. Now for the grammatical error, it's very surprising. It's quite surprising. Why did you do this to yourself? Why will you do this to yourself? I can't know what the meaning is, but I will try. I'm not sure what it means, but I will try. There were some moments. Now for the beautiful words and quotes is by Nina. Is, if I've not mistakenly, is the club is not how many member they recruit, is but how they produce the member to beyond that, to improve that. Another one is a purest form of leadership. Yeah. Next is the second speaker, Lieva. Rest is underserving. Struggling is not personal failure. The guilt washed it up, and pressure condensing like a volcano erupt, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, next is Washifah, Washifah, sorry. Yeah. Still surrendering in bitterness, reconciliation, grow over comfort. And the other speaker is Shin Yin, want to bear the consequences, indispensable. And lastly, our general evaluator, pack of bag. Yeah, simple and meaningful. And with that, I end my grammarian report. And back to you, general evaluator.
Thank you so much, Arif. I love that the word of the day was clearly introduced and presented in the slide earlier. But perhaps typing the word of the day in the chat and constantly reminding us to use the word would make it easier for everyone. And it's good for your business also, right? All right, but other than that, good job on being an active listener and picking up all the good words that all the speakers have used for the day. All right, moving on. Let's move on to our counter, Priscila Cheong, to present her counter report.
Thank you, General Elevator Hai. And first, for Nina, she spoke for once, and she repeated. Then you asked me for once, and it got me a little happy for once. And for appropriate interjections, she said for one, but for twice, and so for twice. And for Ivashini, she said for once, and for twice. I had, I'm present for once, but for once, well for three times, and for once, so for once. For Vashifah, she spoke so for three times and for twice. And then for Shin, she spoke twice for and once for and for four times, well for three times, and so for four times. For Ikhtifar, he said once for and like these repeated words for three times, and well for one time. For Ying Si, she spoke for once, and I just get many I for once, so for three times, well for one time, and for one time. For Zhi Jun, in table topic, she said for once and for four times, and repeated accidentally get into, and I just, and for six times. And for Linisha, she said for once, it was on your for the repeated words, and but for four times, and for five times. For Hakim, he said and for once. Then for Zhi Jun, in evaluation session, she said for one times and for once. And the repeated word is you just give a. And for four times, and then for two times, and so for once. For children, he repeated you mentioned, and for three times, so for two times. For Jessie, she said for twice, for four times, and so for 10 times, and for four times, and but for twice. That's all from me. Back to you, General Elevator.
Thank you so much, Priscilla. Thank you for keeping your ears so active for the day, especially with back-to-back prepared speeches. And I know that it's definitely not an easy task, so well done. Moving on, we have our timer, Sandeep from Batu Kawan Toastmasters Club, to present his timer's report.
Hello, good evening, everyone. So for the timer report for today, the prepared speeches, we have four prepared speeches. Nina Vashifah has taken total, the speech time requirement is 10 minutes to 10 to 15 minutes. She has taken 16 minutes and 9 seconds. For Lieva, her speech requirement is 5 to 7 minutes. You have taken 7 minutes and 38 seconds. For Vashifah, your time is 5 to 7 minutes. You have taken 6 minutes and 14 seconds. For Yong Yin, you have taken, your time requirement is 5 to 7 minutes. You have taken 7 minutes 46 seconds. So for the prepared speeches, only one person is within the time. The other three is slightly more than the time. Anyway, still it's okay because the speeches are very interesting. So it's good to hear that. For the table topic, we have three people. First, for Ikhtifar, the time taken is 1 minute and 50 seconds. For number 2, Ying Si, the time taken is 1 minute and 55 seconds. For the third speaker, Zhi Jun, your time taken is 3 minutes and 8 seconds. Next, moving for the evaluation. For the first evaluator, Linisha, your time taken is 5 minutes and 56 seconds. For Ahmad Hafizul Hakim, your time taken is 1 minute and 33 seconds. For Zhi Jun, your time taken is 3 minutes and 47 seconds. For Zhen, your time taken is 2 minutes and 55 seconds. For table topic evaluation, Zhe, your time taken is 5 minutes and 2 seconds. So that's all for today's timer report. Thank you. Back to General Director.
Thank you so much to our Rolex of the day, Sandeep. Well, I noticed that your connection seems to be a bit unstable during the first half of the meeting. Yeah, so probably you could do a technical checkup first before the meeting. And probably you could use the Zoom background colors to indicate the timing instead of the color paper that you were using just now. And just for information, the background colors could be downloaded from the Toastmasters International website. Yeah, so that it is also easier for us to view the color changes on your screen. All right, other than that, thank you so much for the focus and the detailed report. And one thing that I would like to add on is that I'm not sure whether Toastmasters Club, I'm not sure whether you have a Zoom master or not, but as I think Zhi Jun mentioned just now, or Ikhtifar mentioned, that if possible, try to spotlight the speakers and also the timer when the speaker is speaking, so that, because I know that you have quite a huge crowd of people today, so it is easier for us to view who is speaking. All right, so I'll now present my general report. I'd like to begin with the preparation behind the scenes. So the meeting agenda and Zoom link was shared a day before the meeting, and participants were also admitted smoothly in this Zoom meeting. Although the session was delayed by a slight 4 minutes, the transitions between the sessions and the speeches were smooth. So kudos especially to our Toastmasters of the evening, Angel. And once I entered the meeting, I also noticed that members greet one another warmly in the chat. Even it's an online meeting, that human touch makes a difference. All right, so I'll move on to the presiding officer's welcoming address by Aimaan. Aimaan elaborated on the theme well, and you link it to Valentine's Day. And you also acknowledged our district officer and our external role players. So we definitely feel welcomed and acknowledged. And for our Toastmaster of the evening, Angel, well, this is a bit refreshing for me because you've used Kahoot to let us know the history of the club and to test whether all of our members have read the agenda or not. Well, because I come from a community Toastmasters club, I come from Sangli Toastmasters Club. So joining this University Toastmasters Club is quite refreshing for me. This meeting feels more alive, more lively, and more fun than I thought. And Angel also acknowledged the role players, but most importantly, kudos on the transitions between the sessions. They are smooth and coherent, so although we are a bit behind of timing, the entire meeting was of quality. Well, if I may suggest one small improvement, you may add a more personal touch by introducing each prepared speech speaker before they present their speech, such as any fun fact that you know about the speaker or how he or she has grown since they have joined the club. So this brings more excitement and intensity for us audience to listen to what the speaker has to talk about in his or her speech. Other than that, Angel, you've definitely nailed it being the Toastmaster of the evening today, and give yourself a pat on the back. Last but not least, we have our table topics master, Ying Si. I love that she made all of the speakers feel comfortable and she gave a short comment after each speaker speaks, and even with humor. So thank you, Ying Si, for your energy, and I really love that. Well, overall, what stood out most tonight, I guess, was the seamless collaboration between all of the club members and the role players. Speakers spoke, evaluators responded, members listened, and the encouragement from everyone was reciprocated. While in Tango, both partners must trust one another. And likewise, in Toastmaster, we grow because we trust one another enough to speak, to evaluate, and to improve together. So personally, I would like to thank Toastmaster Aimaan for giving me the chance to be your GE of the day. And tonight, I'm proud to say that we truly demonstrated that it takes two to tango. And this concludes my general evaluation report. Back to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you to our general evaluator, Toastmaster Hai, for your evaluation towards the whole meeting for tonight. Now is our award ceremony. Alright. So first up, we are gonna announce who is our best table topic speaker. Alright, can I have drum roll? Drum roll on your table. Alright, so our best table topic speaker goes to... Wait.
I saw the name.
Wait, I think I haven't amended the slides yet, but our best table topic speaker goes to Zhi Jun. Yes, wait.
Angel, can you like refresh your slides?
Oh.
I think.
Oh, okay. Now.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one is outdated, but alright, congrats to Zhi Jun for being our best table topic speaker for this meeting. Alright, so next.
Hold on, let me take a picture.
Oh, okay.
Alright. Hold on. Alright, 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Alright, thank you.
Alright, so applause to Zhi Jun for being our best table topic speaker. Next up, I'll be announcing our best evaluator for today. Okay, drummer on your tables. Congrats to Zhe Xi for being our best evaluator for this meeting. So Aimaan, you wanna take the wheel?
Alright. Alright, 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Okay, thank you.
Okay, congratulations, Zhe Xi. And last but not least, our best project speaker of today goes to Linisha. But Lieva. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Alright, congratulations.
Alright. Alright, 3, 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so congratulations to all our awardees. Okay, now, so thank you once again to Toastmaster Hai from Sunway Toastmaster Cloud to be our general evaluator for today. So this is your certificate of appreciation. All right, now photo session.
Let me take a picture. Okay. Okay. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so now let's invite once again Toastmaster Aimaan for the presiding officer's closing address.
All right. All right. Thank you everyone for attending this meeting. This was quite an eventful meeting. We had project speeches, table topics, and evaluation session. For our table topics, for our project speeches, we had our second ever club and successful club series speech done by our members, Nina, and this time it was about what you can do beyond this club, and she talked about contests and leadership roles. We also had a variety of project speeches, from how we should stay determined to never giving up to the average day of a university Malaya student. Table topics was also a really great time as we had interesting topics, I would say. And as well, once again, the evaluation session was there to always remind us on what we did great and whatever we can improve. All in all, this was a really great meeting. Once again, I'd like to appreciate our GE, IE from Sami Toastmasters Club, as well as our external role players, Arif from Utah Sungai Long and Sandeep from Batu Kawan Toastmasters Club. Can you go to the next slide, please? All right, and for our upcoming meetings, our next meeting is on 9th of March. It will be a hybrid meeting. So you can either join us physically, the venue will be announced at a later date, or you can join us online if you wish to. We also have tentative meetings on 16th of March and 23rd of March. So, and on the we will announce on any future meetings. So I would like to give some airtime. Would anyone like to give make an announcement?
Okay, I have.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Hi guys. Arif from Utah Sungai Long Toastmaster Club. I just want to give an announcement on our meeting this Wednesday. Is that online, so you guys can join and come see another university Toastmaster and how we do our meeting. Is that online Zoom? Later I will share to Aimaan and Aimaan will give you. And it's 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Yeah, see you there. Thank you. Back to you, Aimaan.
Okay. Uh, the floor is also open to anyone. Would anyone like to make any announcements?
Could I take the stage?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Thank you so much. All right, so hi everyone. My name is Hai. I'm the Vice President of Education from Sunway Toastmasters Club. I would also like to make an announcement for our upcoming meeting on this Thursday. It would be an online meeting too, and we still have a few vacant role players. So if you would like to know more about these roles, and you could contact me, I could send my contact number in the chat box later. All right, so thank you so much.
Okay, and once again, the floor is open. Would anyone like to give any announcements? All right, then I assume that's all. And once again, thank you for joining this meeting. Next slide, please. And yeah, if feel free to scan this QR code to fill up the feedback form, and I'll now call this meeting adjourned. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.